When I'm working on one of my pieces, I feel powerful. I feel joy. Because I'm saying something that speaks volumes, more volumes than I could ever say in person. And that's why I believe I was put on this earth to say words that many people can't say. My name is Willie Little, and I'm a multimedia installation artist, storyteller, and author. The work I do is exploring and examining decay, social decay, physical decay, cultural decay. I love getting in, and feeling and seeing and touching because it represents the passing of time, history. It's almost orgasmic, actually. I'm being around a lot of old things. I love it. I love aging the pieces because I want it all to look as if it was in an archaeological dig. The torch is actually more of a tool than the paintbrush. Looks really cool on this side. Yes. The weight of resilience represents where we are now. I have 3 books on one side that represents institutional oppression, and we have this doll on the other side. Although these books should weigh more, because of her strength and resilience, she actually is equal. Cockleburrs are prickly seed pods. They were used as racial epithets to describe African hair in its natural state. In much of my work, I reclaim things that are insulting and represent them. We had them in the fields on my family's farm, and they stuck to our clothes, and I remembered how cool they were, but how painful they were. I was born in the Pactos Township near Little Washington, North Carolina. My first few years growing up in Eastern North Carolina was exhilarating. It was fun, it was joyous, it was rich. My father owned a grocery store called Little's Grocery. People could come in and buy penny candy, butter cookies, and groceries, but at night, it became a juke joint. People would come in, buy a 50-cent gin shot in a Dixie paper cup, and the blues filled the store with that jukebox. It was something else. The people who came through, I loved them, they loved me. My sisters and I would laugh and talk about all the crazy things that went on. If you ever saw the film The Color Purple, Harpo's Juke Joint, it was kind of jumping like that. It was a place of solace, a place to let their hair down, a little dancing, a little romancing, a little gin, and sin. The moment I realized that I had a story to tell, I was with an artist named Juan Logan, and I started telling him the story about my father's illegal liquor house, about some of the people. He said, "Willie, that's your story. You need to do something with that." In 1994, I received a project grant to create Juke Joint. I wanted to make something that really honored the richness of my family, where I came from, and I wanted people to see what I saw. I knew I had something when it traveled around the country for several years. It culminated at the Smithsonian in 2003, and that's where it is now, in the permanent collection. I was in love with that shape. I mean, everything about the store looked thrown together with, spit and a prayer, but it withstood the test of time because it was so strong. When people see my work, I hope they are curious. I hope they are educated. And I hope they are inspired. But I hope that they are seduced by what they see first. And then if they choose to investigate more, they can peel through the layers, because all of my work is layered with so many symbols. I want people to think. Very good to meet you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Welcome. I wanted to write a book because I knew I had a story to tell. My work started out with writing narratives and putting them on the artwork. So that was the beginning of me telling the stories. When I was a child, my family lived in a narrow lime asbestos shingled shotgun shack. We had running water, but no inside toilet. I shared a bedroom with Ernestine, my older sister, 7 years my senior. It is a coming-of-age story about me growing up a little gay black boy from the rural South. And that girl goaded us every day. And I won't say anymore. You need to read what happened. Okay. I love sharing part of my life with an audience. I love their response to me telling the story.
I have to tell you, I was so excited when I saw this.
The work that I create about growing up from the rural South comes from a sense of joy, because I know I was loved, and the work is a love letter to my past. I was ashamed of it when I was college-aged. And when I grew beyond that shame, I just wanted to scream it from the rooftops. I am proud of where I come from. I love where I come from. And that's why it is so important for me to tell the story with that same amount of love.